What is going on, people? Day number 28 of the 31 Days Hath October series, which I'm doing on this channel. It's upon us. 3 more days after this, and it's been a fun month. For those of you who have not checked out any of my other episodes or reviews, should I say, go ahead and do that. I'm not the only one that's doing some kind of 31 days. I call it a little bit different, and I do it a little bit different. Some people call it the 31 Days of Horror. Some people call it the 31 Days of Halloween. I call it the 31 Days Half October series. And some people do, black and white movies or cult classics or, random titles they pull out of their collection. I do more independent titles, and I try to do them in alphabetical order. But of course, the letters of the alphabet are now gone. So what I tend to do towards the end of the month is I tend to do more like updates and stuff. You will see, I'm guessing probably tomorrow, usually with my Scream Factory collection, it grows every so often. So every 6 months I try to do an updated version of my Scream Factory collection. So that's probably what I'm going to do tomorrow. But there's other collections that have been growing, so probably the next couple days I'll show off some movies from those collections as well. And in this collection right now that I'm about to show off, if you couldn't tell by the title, I've done some reviews of these movies so far, so I'm not going to go deep into any of these movies. Some of them I still have yet to sit down and watch, but for the most part I saw most of them. And like I said, some of the movies in this collection I've already reviewed. So I'm not going to sit down and talk too much about each one of them. But it's one of these collections that I think you should all get into. Like I said, the Scream Factory collection, that's, I see videos about this all the time. But I don't see that many people do this kind of collection. So I'd say check out everything that's in it. Because like I've mentioned in all my reviews so far, anything that I've seen so far from this, the company and what puts it out, really good stuff. So anyway, the collection I'm talking about now is the Dread Presents collection, or the series, I guess you want to call it. It's put out by Epic Pictures Group. Dread Central is the people that kind of put it together, and it's called the Dread Presents series, I guess you want to call it. So right now there is 21 movies in this collection, and I'm going to show them off. Like I said, most of these I've talked about in some way, shape, or form, so I'm not going to go too crazy with them, but they're all, they're all numbered and everything, which I enjoy, which actually makes me go out and buy all of them because I am kind of a completist. So let me get into it before I, bore you with all this talking. So the first one is number one out of the collection is The Lodgers. This one is like a ghost story type feel to it, where there's two people in a mansion and all this stuff, and they're kind of trapped there because of this entity that's in there. Like I said, I don't want to go way too deep into it, but it's one of those movies you definitely got to check out. This one is growing in popularity. It's becoming like a cult hit. They are coming out with a second one, which was announced, with a whole bunch of people in it. So the movie is Terrifier, number 2 in the series. Like I said, is Terrifier, and if you look on the side, so number 2 is Terrifier. If you haven't seen that, Art the Clown. This one's a very fun one. It's, what's his name? Penn Teller, or Penn Jillette, should I say Penn Teller. Penn from Penn and Teller, Penn Jillette. He plays this, like, obsessed fan of one of the actresses in this movie. And pretty much he's one of those, I guess he did like an Indiegogo or something like that, where if you pay a certain amount of money, you could go on set and, become a director or whatever. So he's upset with the one girl that's in it, and let's just say it goes crazy from there. But the movie's called Director's Cut. If you haven't seen this one, I say check it out for sure. Then in the middle, they had like double features and whatever. This one I have not been able to sit down and watch yet, But the one movie on this is Zombology, and then what they actually do is they have two movies on it. So if I take this out, not only does it have Zombology, but it's Vidar the Vampire. So that's the other movie that's on here. So you get um, both covers and such. So I guess whichever one maybe you like more, you can flip it out. But that's number 5. So technically, right now it's 21 discs, but it's so it's like 24 movies because there are two other double features. So like I said, Zombology and Vidar the Vampire. I checked out this one, The Monster Project. I remember watching this movie years ago. I got the chance to sit down and watch a screener and review it and stuff. It's very interesting where these guys are trying to make like a web series kind of deal about monsters. So they end up meeting 3 different like actual monsters, thinking that would be a great idea, and it didn't work. And then the other movie on this one, which I haven't seen it yet, but it's Screamers. That's the cover art for that one as well. That one I have not been able to sit down and watch, but it's a very interesting. Like I said, Monster Project is a very interesting take on a monster movie. These two I have not seen. Nina Forever sounds like a fun one, and then this other one, it seems like it's almost like an alien type movie, but it's called Imitation Girl. Those two I have not sat down to watch, but those two are, so this is number 7, and this one's number 6 if you need to see the spines or whatever. So those, like I said, those 3 are double discs, so you get 2 movies for the price of one on that one. This movie's called Extremity. This is number 8 out of the whole deal. This one, there's this girl who's had a lot of problems in her life and all this stuff, and this movie takes or kind of takes those extreme haunted houses, I guess you want to call it, where some people, especially during October, they go and try to get scared, where these things you can actually get touched and stuff. Well, this one takes it to the extreme, and by the end of the movie, it's just all over the place. Really interesting movie, Extremity. If you haven't checked that one out, I did a review for this one during this year, Lasso, where the people go to one of these rodeos and stuff, but the rodeo gets taken over by these homicidal killers and stuff like that. I did a review for this one, Sleigh Bells, which is number 10 out of the series, where the girls go to Santa Land and run into Krampus. This one's a very interesting one. Dry Blood is number 11. This one is, let's just say, the guy starts having these visions and all this stuff about killing family members and such, and it's just all over the place. I'll read it. In a rural mountain town, an unstable drug addict must unravel a serial murder mystery as he's terrorized by malevolent ghosts, a deranged sheriff, and a frightening hallucinations from his withdrawal. So he's trying to put his life together after being a drug addict and stuff, and the stuff that happens in this movie is very fun. Let's just say at parts it reminds me of, not the movie itself, like the plot, but if you've seen like American Werewolf in London, or you've seen Idle Hands and stuff, where the people die, they come back to life, and they're like haunting the person. This one has that, so it's very, very fun. Gollum, I have not seen this one yet. This is more of a timepiecey, I guess you want to call it, but this is what number is this? 12 out of the series. Book of Monsters, I just reviewed this yesterday, so if you haven't checked out that review, go ahead and check that one out, but this is number 13. Number 14 is Black Site. This, like I said, in a lot of these, in this series, you get a lot of different genres and such. Me, sci-fi really isn't my style, but just to complete the collection, I haven't sat down to watch this, so I don't want to say too much. But, I can't say too much because I haven't sat down to watch it. But it's one of those movies I will eventually give it a chance because, like I said, the stuff that they put out so far, I enjoyed. So that's the Black Site. Recon 1, this is like a zombie-type movie. not like the dead come back to life kind of deal, but it's more like a 21 days later, 21 weeks later kind of deal, where it's more of an outbreak type style zombie as opposed to the coming back to life and stuff. Redcon 1. They're Inside, I reviewed this one where it's people trying to make their own movie while getting attacked by psychos. So They're Inside, I reviewed that one. And that's number 16 out of the whole series. Assassinat, this one's definitely on a different style. This is another like sci-fi style one where they end up, trying to live on a new planet and all this stuff. And it's a bunch of kids kind of, I don't want to go as deep as like the Goonies kind of, trying to protect their own kind of deal, but it has like an interesting vibe where it's, a bunch of kids and stuff. Different than I'm used to, and like I said, not the biggest sci-fi fan, but definitely got to give just this one a chance, especially if you like aliens and stuff like that and war and stuff. It's very interesting. Hoax, I talked about this one, a Bigfoot movie and such. That one's number 18 out of the series. Arctic was the first movie this month that I reviewed. That's number 19 out of the whole series. Candy Corn I did, number 20. And the last one is Harpoon, which I also talked about. So that's number 21. There are two other movies. Red Letter Day, I believe, will be 22. That should be coming soon. And then the last one, they have it up for pre-order. I can't think of the name. I already pre-ordered it, but I forget exactly what it's called. I can look it up if you give me a second. I'll let you know exactly what the I should have had this beforehand, but the 22nd movie, or the 23rd, should I say, is called The Fair. So, like I said, 23 movies are now in this collection. They put them up for, I'll leave the link to where you can purchase all of them. It's the Epic Pictures Group, or epic/pictures.com. And then they have every movie up there. And if you pre-order them, they're $14.99. And then once they actually get released, then it becomes $19.99. So it's a little bit cheaper. You save $5 if you do pre-order them. And like I said, I pre-ordered pretty much once I started watching the movies and really digging them. The one I also forgot to show off is To Hell and Back, which I actually have in my player, because once I reviewed it, I'm like, I really dug this documentary. So that would be number, what is it, 4 out of the whole series. So definitely go ahead and check out Dread Presents, Dread Central, Epic Pictures Group, collection. I'd say a lot of the movies in here definitely fit what I enjoy. Like I said, still haven't sat down to watch the sci-fi ones, but eventually I will. Even though, like I said, not the biggest sci-fi person, but I got to sit down and watch them just because, like I said, I've enjoyed everything else that's been put out. So I'll leave the link for all the, epicpictures.com, where you can purchase all these movies. I'm not going to leave the trailer for all of them, but I'll leave the names so you can check them out. And also in the description, like I said, so many people have been doing it the whole month, so I'll leave the links to their pages as well. And of course, I'll leave the links to all my other social medias. I got a Facebook fan page, I got a Twitter, I got an Instagram where I show off the movies behind me. I got a I was about to say Horror Amino. Haven't done that in a while, but I am part of the Dorkening, which tomorrow we will have a few people from Fatfoot Pictures, I believe. We're talking to them about The Stray and probably other movies they have put out, but there should be a few people coming from that. So tomorrow, if you're interested, go ahead, check us out, The Dorkening, on pretty much everything: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, because we do stream live, and Twitch. And then if you're don't want to check out the live stream, and you're more of a audio podcast listener, you can listen to us on the Dorkening Podcast Network, where we pull the audio straight from the video and play it from there. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Like I said, a few more days left, which, like I said, I'll probably do Scream Factory next, and then possibly like maybe the horror pack ones. I'll show every single horror pack movie that has been put out. Some of them I've seen, some of them I haven't yet, but I'll show all those. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. And I guess until next time, I'll see you guys.